Welcome back. It is the Buckmaster Show, and it's time for our monthly interview segment featuring the monthly Scam of Alert. And it is presented by the Better Business Bureau of Southern Arizona. Always a pleasure to welcome the smiling face, the lovely and talented Susann Miller, the Director of Communication and Consumer Affairs at BBB. Hi, Susann.
Good morning, Bill. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We are off and running, and for a Monday, I have a lot of energy today. I'm all fired up, and I want to help people get the word, and that's one of the things that we like to do with our BBB segment, and providing some tips and warnings on fraud that's been hitting our Southern Arizona community.
Yeah, we have quite a few subjects that we could talk on, so I'm trying to narrow it down to a couple of big ones that I think impact the most of your viewers.
And some of the tips that we can begin with, how about let's talk about some of the proactive tips that might be very helpful right off the bat.
Well, you know, the big thing that just happened was that Chipotle data breach. And I'm sure that many of your listeners were affected by that. And so we just wanted to kind of give some tips on what to do as a proactive measure when you are thinking, you know, about making any purchases at a retail store or online. Always pay with a credit card versus a debit card for purchases because it has, you know, more layers of protection for you.
You can also always, if there's some issue that you would like to contend with your credit card company, it's a little easier on that level than if you were doing just the debit card.
Absolutely.
At least that's been my experience.
Yeah, and you're not having your immediate funds taken advantage of, you know. So if your checking account is emptied out, you know, that's scary, and it could take up months for you to get that back.
Some people wait every month, Susann, to I'll get a statement about my checking and credit card. I think that needs to be monitored a little more closely.
Especially in the world state today, where we have so much of this data breach happening, so many scammers out there. Really check your checking account and credit card transactions every week. And you know, the other wonderful thing that you can do is set up alerts on your cards that notify you each time your card is used. And there's usually no additional cost to doing so. I have that on all of my cards. And it makes it really a good, you know, just in the back of your mind, you have peace that you'll be notified if somebody else is using your card.
Interesting. So now you have it so you make a purchase on your credit card, you will get an email saying that you just made that purchase.
Yeah, and for
it's kind of a nice backstop for you.
Yeah, you put the dollar amount. I actually put anything over $1.
Wow.
Notify me because it doesn't, you know, sometimes they're testing you and they'll only do $5 at first and then go up from there. So I put, you know, anything that goes on there that's more than $1, I get notified, and I think it's great. And then you can also place a freeze on your credit report. I mean, if you're not planning on making any major purchases or requesting a credit increase or anything like that, go ahead and put that freeze on there. And that way, if they do steal your identity, then they cannot create any new accounts and actually obtain credit under your name.
People freak out, and I know why they would when they hear about these big data breaches. They hear maybe a company that they've had a card with that they do business with. I guess the first thing you need to do is take a deep breath, stay calm.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's scary.
It's very frightening because you think, oh, what kind of information did they get? How much of my information did they get? But stay calm and really monitor the company's website for information about the data breach. Scammers know when those happen as well, and so they send out emails and do phone calls following up with people. And you can't really trust anyone coming to you. Go to the actual company's site to get the information. That way you know that you're, getting the right information and you're not giving your information to anyone that's going to continue to evolve us to a further breach.
Susann Miller is here. This is our monthly scam alert from the Better Business Bureau of Southern Arizona. Susann, this is the season, of course. The monsoon officially begins June 15th, the season. So scammers know that too, and they figure, well, maybe I'll get some money out of somebody for a roofing deal, and I'm not a roofer.
Oh, yes, it happens.
Yeah, the construction remodeling scam, and it seems to, they go with the season. So, hey, you've got a big problem with your roof. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So, we need to be on the alert for that fraud.
Absolutely, Bill. That's kind of a big thing that obviously is going to happen coming up with monsoons. And in general, there are a lot of people that will drive by your street and knock on your door and say, hey, I see that a tree fell over in your yard and it hit your roof and you have roof damage. But, we're here right now. We can fix it and you don't have to worry about finding,
Yeah, they're going door to door.
It
We're
sounds,
ready.
Yeah, and it sounds like the perfect, solution, because who's got time to go through all the headaches of finding the right people? Well, it's going to become more of a headache if you don't find the trusted sources, because a lot of those people are not licensed. They don't have any insurance covering anything that they do. The liability is on you. You really don't want to sign any agreements with anyone who comes to your door. You can take their information and add them as a source, but really when it comes down to finding someone to do construction and remodeling, first I would always recommend going to our BBB business directory. And I'm not saying that because I think BBB is fabulous, as it is, but it's really a trusted source to go to. It's like a one-stop shop.
So how does that work? You'll go to the BBB website and then you just put the company name in?
You can put a company name or you can put an industry. So
like
if it
roofing,
is roofing, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If it's roofing, and you can actually click whether they're accredited businesses or not. Know that when you hit accredited businesses, all of those businesses have been vetted. So you know that they follow the standards of trust. And so, help yourself by, really narrowing down your selections so that you are working with people that that would be safe for me to sign a contract with. You don't want it to cost more than it should.
Keep in mind the budget. You don't want to talk about taking out a second mortgage just to pay for something that could have been done with a lot less money.
Yeah, that's really important. Really think about what is going on. What do you need done? Figure out what your budget is, and do not get any work done without getting a written contract first. It needs to clearly state the expectations and timeframes so that both parties know what's involved and you have that in writing to protect yourself. But that budget piece is crucial because you could quickly we just a little add this and we need that now and we need that now. Well, if you have it written and it's clear in the contract, you can't be held responsible for that.
Those add-ons could kill you money-wise.
Yeah,
Suddenly, if it's not in the contract and then there's recommending this and that, that's going to really jack up your price.
Yeah, you have to be really careful about, clear communications with one another. And then again, that's why you want to hire the right people. You really want to get the right person in there. Somebody who knocks on your door, just take their information, but, also check them out. Do they have a company logo on their vehicle? Do they have contact information? Who's the owner? What do they have the right licensing? Licensing is huge. You need to make sure that if you're going to get work done, if there's licensing involved, that your contractor is making sure that that is happening, because you don't want to end up liable for that.
The registrar of contractor, you want to make sure they are fully licensed with them.
Exactly.
Otherwise
Bill.
you could be in a big problem if this person, if you do have some work done and there's really, those people are gone.
And you don't want to rely on the contractor to be the one to tell you whether you need a license or not. Take it in your own hands, because ultimately it falls on you if something goes wrong. So just take a moment to call the office of the Register of Contractors and ask them. And, get the information firsthand so that you're not relying on other people, because ultimately this is your checkbook.
And get some sources. If somebody's done some work, maybe you can they can give you some recommendations.
Right. And that's, one thing about the BBB Business Directory is you see reviews by other people.
Good.
So, and, really do your research. If you narrow it down to 3 companies, look at their company page, really investigate and research and look at as many reviews as possible.
That's very doable. That's manageable. You can say, pick 3 and then go from there. It's not going to be that. It's not going to take up that much time, but you're going to be able to really find out what's going on with those companies.
Perfect. Yeah, it's the reviews and the ratings are all on the BBB Business Directory pages, so you don't have to go anywhere else. And you can actually get e-quotes as well.
All right.
Right by clicking on a button, so it's really great.
Where can people go now that we've talked about the BBB website? Is it easy?
Yeah. Minor detail.
Is it easy to find?
It's so easy. It's tucson.bbb.org, tucson.bbb.org. And the homepage, you can actually click on the business directory, and then on that page, you can get a quote.
And if you forget that particular website, just Google Better Business Bureau.
Serving
Tucson.
Southern Arizona. Tucson. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Susann Miller, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Have a great week.
You too.
Thanks. We'll be right back.